Hey there, welcome back to GP Reactions. I hope you're well, hope you're having a great day, and as always, thank you to everybody that has subscribed. So today it's really freezing cold, and it started snowing as well, and with the times we're living in, this couldn't be a more appropriate song title, which is Survival, and it's from Yes, and it's from their debut album from 1969, their self-titled debut album, I should say. And this is the last track on side 2. Now, I know there is another track which I've glossed over, and that was a Lennon and McCartney song. I'm still deciding whether to come back to that. I'll probably have a listen to it. I'm not sure I want to react to it because it might get blocked, as so much of their stuff does. Also, there was a live version of this in the Beat Club, from the Beat Club, which I was very tempted to react to, but again, I really kind of got a boot in the old face when I tried to react to Free, who were performing at the Beat Club, and it resulted in a strike for my channel. So, I say once bitten, twice shy. So I'm going to stick with this audio version and see where it takes me. So this is the lineup of Yes, just to remind myself, is John Anderson on vocals, Peter Bank on guitars and backing vocals, Chris Squire on backing vocals and bass, Tony Kay on organ and piano, and Bill Bruford on drums. So without further ado, I'm looking forward to this last track. It's been a really nice album. There's lots of drama and sweetness, and it's, I guess if I had to, because I can't remember every track that I've reacted to, but I guess if I had to sum up how I feel about it, very warm feeling I got from this album altogether. I think that was partly down to John Anderson's voice. A lot of the stuff I've actually heard of John Anderson seemed to happen around Christmas time, and that was with John and Vangelis. So initially his voice used to remind me of snow and cold and stuff, but some of the tracks on here were genuinely lovely, warm summer type tracks, and that's all I kind of need in life, just to kind of wish for those longer nights and those warmer days. So that said, we're now in a period of survival, and yes, this is Survival.
Sunshine is creeping in, and somewhere in a field a life begins. An egg too proud to rape, the beginning of the shape of things to come. Let's start the run. Life has begun. Life has begun. The mother flew too late, and life within the egg was left to fade. Not really knowing how the world outside would take it when it came. And life's the same for things we aim. Are we to blame? Don't doubt the fight that's life within you. Yesterday's endings will tomorrow life give you. All that dies for a reason, to put its strength into the season. Survival, survival. They take away and they give you life and they right to it's all that we need to show right to love. The egg breaks all is out. The crawling bird begins to scream and shout. Where is the parent bird? The loneliness arose and heard its name ringing. For lives begin, survival win, survival sin. So soon the evening comes, and with it runs the aching fear of hate. Could someone still remain who thinks he still could gain by escaping fate? It's much too late. Don't underrate, appreciate. Come out the fact there's life within you. Yesterday's endings will tomorrow life give you. All that dies for a reason, to put its strength into the seasons. Survival, survival. They take away and they give life as they live. Right to it's all that we need to give. Right to know. Survival, survival. They take away and they give life as they live. Right to know that we need to give. Right to know that we have to show. And we're all going somewhere.
Wow, that was lovely. That was a really fabulous song, but it's really hard. There's so many different things going on in his song. I'll start with John Anderson's voice. It's his delivery was beautiful but aloof, and I don't mean it as a criticism of his voice. It's and the one thing I love about certain artists, Peter Gabriel's another one that can do this, and they're great storytellers. So they'll sing a song, but they express that song in their vocal delivery rather than just the lyrics that they're singing. I think a lot of artists these days don't really it's just, it doesn't seem to be something that's practiced in a performance very much, unless it's a satirical song of some kind. I think there's when you're singing about something like what I think the subject's about, and to actually have a certain type of vocal delivery that fits those lyrics exactly, I think is really cool. Yeah, so I found his vocal delivery quite beautiful, but really aloof, as if, I mean, clearly this song is about nature, about the circle of life, about, you know, what happens, a triumphant birth, the abandonment, dying, and it feels like the narrator of this song, John Anderson, he's taking that higher view that, you know, this is what happens. I'm sorry, it's going to die, and I will still have, and when it's born, I will still be the same, exactly the same, ambivalent towards the whole circle of life, because that's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what it does. So I love that aspect of it. The organ as well was, it kind of came in quite brutally, but then it was triumphant as well. So again, the organ was almost mimicking the vocal delivery of John Anderson in a similar way. Yeah, this was beautiful, and the harmonies as well. The harmonies throughout this was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. What else can I say about this? I think, I mean, it took me a while actually to actually figure what the lyrics were about. I thought it was just maybe, you know, about again, as I was saying before, like a nice kind of summer feeling song, summer into evening type thing, because that's how it started. So I'm going to read lyrics actually and see, you know, if there's anything else in here that jumps out at me as being that I've obviously missed. Sunshine is creeping in, and somewhere in a field a life begins. An egg too proud to rape, the beginning of a shape of things to come. So, you know, it feels lovely, but then to introduce that single word, rape, all of a sudden it puts a darkness, a cloud over the whole process. I think in we are regularly bombarded with, we like to personify animals, we like to give them the human characteristics, Watership Down, you know, talking rabbits. You know, we have Disney, we have all of these different genres that are of television and movie that personify our animals. We put the human qualities that we supposedly have onto these creatures, and so when we watch, and this is probably one of the reasons why I don't watch nature programs, because I'm aware of how brutal nature is. That I almost subconsciously want to buy into the idea that the animals look after each other when we're not about, rather than dragging a zebra away and eating it. That's kind of how I want to think about these things, even though I know it goes on, and I think this song is just strips all that away. This song is like a wildlife program. Anyway, so sunshine is creeping in, and somewhere in a field, a life begins. An egg too proud to rape, the beginning of a shape of things to come. That starts to run, life has begun. Fly fast the gun. The mother flew too late. Oh, so maybe this is like a when they do like a shooting birds and stuff. And life within the egg was left to fate, not really knowing how the world outside would take it when it came. And life's the same for things we aim. Are we to blame? Don't doubt the fact there's life within you. Yesterday's endings will tomorrow life give you. All that dies for a reason, to put its strength into the seasons. So it's saying that, you know, nature has a way of when an aspect of life dies in nature, everything else benefits from that death, and the whole reproduction of the plants, the animals, the insects, everything goes on because of, you know, that bird dying. Survival, survival, they take away and they give. The living's right to live. It's all we need to give. The living's right to know. What the egg breaks out or is out. The crawling bird begins to scream and shout. Where's the parent bird? A loneliness arose and heard its name. Ring in for lives begin. Survival win, survival win. So soon the evening comes, and with it runs the aching fear of hate. Could someone still remain who thinks he could gain and by escaping fate? It's much too late. Don't underrate, appreciate. Don't doubt the fact there's life within you. Yesterday's endings will tomorrow life give you. All that dies for a reason, to put its strength into the seasons. And there's a bit of a repetition then. But yeah, generally that's it. It's quite a cold and brutal song, but at times, you know, we're reminded that, you know, nature is nature and it's been here since millennia, and it is what it is, and sometimes it's beautiful and sometimes it's cold and cruel. And that was a beautiful way to finish the album. I think that I will definitely be going forward with the next album, and I think I'll probably have a go at doing a Lennon McCartney song. I can't remember which one that was on the album, but I will drop back onto that. But yeah, this 6 minute 20-second track was a wonderful, nice, long way to end the album. The circle of life, where the album started, where it finished. I wonder actually if there's a theme throughout this album that I've missed. So yeah, questions there. If anyone does know if there's a theme to this album, please let me know. If this was just a one-off track or something that was meant to say, okay, this album is now dead. The next album will be reborn. Maybe that's what they were hinting at. I don't know, because I know they've had a lot of changes in their lineup throughout the years. So maybe there were a few people saying, okay, this is the one and only album we're going to do, but the next album won't be here. So we can do this track as a nice way to end it. Yeah, maybe. So anyway, guys, take care of yourselves. Like I said, join me in the comments if you have heard of this, if you'd like to comment, if you like this. Otherwise, have a wonderful week ahead.